late, so here we are streaming. Everybody's in there ready to go. Hi, I hope you'll join us for the session. I think everybody's already come in. Where is everyone? Oh, I think I came to the wrong version of the world. It says there's lots of people here. Oh, there we go. Looks like there's just a couple. Hey, Geeknificent. That is a very wild avatar. It looks like there's not a lot of people here today, so I'm amazed by your avatar. But yeah, let's make our way in. Hey ZZ, welcome. We normally ring the bell and then make our way into the temple. Alright, and to those of you at home, I guess you get to see what I normally do. I get to set up a stream camera. So now you guys are seeing the shot from this camera, which I normally have set up before you all arrive. But here's a little sneak preview of how it goes. So I've got one camera, then I turn on camera number 2. There you go. How's that look? Come in, grab a seat, guys. Just talking to the audience as well. Oh. As you can see, my excellent cinematography skills. There you go. All right, grab a cushion and let's begin. So we're going to start with setting our intention. So I invite you to just take a very deep, present, powerful breath. And just meditate or focus, contemplate the idea of being here and learning, growing, transforming. If you could cultivate peace or confidence or mindfulness or excitement, some specific transformation in your mind or some general feeling, or what do you set your intention upon? What would be really wonderful or happy or helpful for you? Breathe into that idea, that feeling. And set yourself that theme that tonight is about that for you. Any thoughts you have, try to tie that back into you being awesome at this intention. Please, throughout the evening, ask any questions that will help you be great at that. Just put your whole consciousness into diving into that transformation. For those of you who are here present in real life, and those of you who are here on the live stream, for everybody, for those of you who watch the recording later, set your intention on that transformation. Whatever ideas or feelings just arose in that short meditation, hold that in your mind. Let's put all of our creativity and emotion and consciousness into you leveling up in regards to what came to mind just now. All right, so welcome everybody. ZZ, if you want to come sit up the front, that would be great, but feel free to do as you wish. And let's begin our session. So I am going to start with another meditation. I hope that that first intention setting felt more like an idea and a emotive strength. And so this meditation, we're going to settle into being present, to being here. So feel into your body, feel into where you're sitting, feel your shoulders. I like to roll my shoulders a little just to really let my body know, hey, I'm loosening up and I'm about to let go. For those of you who've just arrived or who just joined, in our intention setting, I asked everyone to think of one thing that you're going to set for your intention for tonight. All your thoughts, all your questions, tie that into this one transformation you want to make for yourself. So as we get ready for our opening meditation, you just have that intention in mind, and then just feel your body again. Feel your head. Feel your shoulders. Feel your chest. Take a deep breath in. Feel your back, your upper back and your lower back, and your sense of balance. Feel your hips. Feel your whole body as you take another slow, deep breath and let your whole body be at peace. If you notice your consciousness right now, where's your attention? And if I point out that in every moment there's so much activity in your mind, constructing words, constructing sentences, constructing ideas, maybe there's feelings and memories from the day. Just notice your mind. So much brain activity that you're conscious of. And you can just imagine how much brain activity this outside of your conscious experience. But as you look at your mind and breathe peacefully, the conscious activity can start to settle down, and you'll also start to notice more of the background noise in your mind. So that unconscious activity, some of it starts to become conscious. And even that you can start to settle down. Notice what your breath feels like, and make the next few breaths intentionally more soothing, more peaceful, more still. And then imagine that your body and your mind are amazingly still. Just this profoundly deep peace. And then go back to watching your consciousness. Look at everything that's happening in your mind. It's so amazing. Every moment, so much in your consciousness. But as you watch it, just let everything become settled and peaceful. You are becoming more conscious of yourself, but also moving into a state where there's just this more profound peace through your whole being. Some people like to think that as we settle our mind, so much more of our brain, our feelings, our concepts becomes unified. So as you think of your positive intention, you just have all different parts of you empowered to all work together to become that transformation. Some people think of meditation like your inner self is this enlightened being, and all that activity is just layers around the side, and settling them down is like unwrapping a present to find that enlightened self inside of you, where you just get to be that positive intention. And as you experience that, then it becomes part of every part of you. Some people like to think that there's all this activity in the mind, but when we meditate, it settles. So all of your old habits, they're just not as active. So you're more free to imagine or feel or practice whatever you could imagine. And then as you practice these new amazing feelings, as you visualize this better versions of yourself, you get to experience that more fully and wire that into your brain, wire that into your feelings. So just putting your attention onto this positive transformation intention. Let yourself feel some positive transformation in you. Let yourself think about it as powerfully as possible. Let yourself envisage yourself transformed into whatever would help you most. Watch your mind and then guide yourself into an even better meditation for you. How would this feel that would impact you more beautifully, more inspirationally, more deeply, more happily. Guide your own contemplation to make it awesome for you. Just for the last part of this meditation, take some stronger breaths and remember whatever positive ideas or feelings were there for you in the meditation. And then make those feelings stronger. Make those ideas more compelling as you breathe powerful breaths. And when you're ready, you can come from the meditation back into the temple. If you're there in the live stream, it's really wonderful to have you here. I invite you to imagine that you're actually here in this temple with us. If you're here in VR, thank you so much for being here. And now that you've moved your mind from the meditative mind into the state of mind you're in now, I just invite you to take a moment to reflect. What were you feeling in the meditation? What were you thinking about? Just bring the most awesome parts of that meditation into your thinking mind right now. And if anybody, live stream or here in VR, would like to share a nice moment from the meditation, that'd be great. Or perhaps you have a question. I'd just love to hear. Popcorn?
I just wanted to say that I had a little trouble focus-wise in the meditation, but it was good for me. And I just felt like towards the end of it, I was sort of repeating like a positive affirmation to myself that I want to like manifest my goals and become like the best version of myself. And I'm feeling like very motivated.
Oh, that's great. Thank you for sharing. When it comes to positive affirmations or practicing new thoughts or new feelings, there's actually an art form to it. So if forever you were saying, I want to manifest my goals, you would be practicing wanting, and then you'll hopefully want to more and more, which might be exactly what you need to practice right now. But at some point, I hope that it would also turn into, I am manifesting my goals and dreams, and I am taking these actions. Or perhaps it was already that for you, and you just said, I want to, as you described it for us. But for everybody, if you notice the difference between the idea of I want to and I do, you can see they're almost the same idea, but they are different. One's a feeling, one's something you do. And when you look at the way we talk to ourselves, try to always look at it like an art form. Am I creating the feelings that I actually want? Am I creating actions in the now? Or am I creating actions sometime in the future? Um, is the idea that I'm focusing on actually the idea I want? Like an example I love to use because it's so helpful for everybody. I spent years thinking, I wish I wasn't shy. I wish I wouldn't close up. And years of practicing that, I just stayed shy and non expressive. And then when I was taught to be like this artist with my thoughts, I started to practice. I am expressive and I am confident and I am comfortable. And just by changing my thoughts around, and yes, practicing it every day, imagining being expressive and confident, I then started to learn that and be that and feel that. And before I learned that, I'm pretty sure every day I was thinking, I wish I wasn't shy. So I just turned that around to just every day practicing what would help me, and it transformed me. So, yeah, try to watch the way that you think and make it as empowering and actionable and present as possible. And you may have already been doing that awesomely, Popcorn. Um, and thank you for reminding us all to be excited about our dreams and to make them happen and to be pumped up about life and possibilities.
Yeah, of course.
Hmm. Um, Icy Mister, I feel like you had something you wanted to say or to share.
Yeah. So it was just something that I sort of experienced, while meditating, where I felt really aware of myself and sort of how I act towards others. Um, because like I'm not gonna like be mean if you could be mean to you if you come up to me like on the street and try to talk to me, but like I spend a lot of like I guess you could call me a keyboard warrior where I get mad at others on the internet often, and I'll get into these really heated debates. And I sort of realized that for me to be the best version of myself, I have to be more compassionate to others and myself. Because a lot of these times I'll get into these arguments until like I need to take a mental break to calm down. And that's not productive to anything of who I want to be. And sure, I believe in the things that I say, um, but I sort of realize that the way I go about it, I'm not getting anything across. Like if I just go into an argument and I'm just all negative, I'm not gonna even hope to achieve anything. I'm just gonna push them farther away from what I believe.
I mean, you might
And
convince 1 in 1,000 people who are like, "Whoa, yeah, that's a
yeah,
strong point," but a lot of people they'll just dig in. Yeah.
right. Yeah, it's a lose-lose situation because I don't feel good after it, and they won't feel good after it. So I sort of realized that I have to work on myself to know when it's the right time to actually have these conversations, and I have to go about it in a more healthy way.
Mm. I think that's a beautiful insight, something that many people could learn from. Um, so thank you for sharing. Um, if I was to reiterate something similar to what I said to Popcorn, um, if you continue to imagine the most awesome version of you, like feeling good, being compassionate, having great conversations that are engaging and convincing, and you also learn from other people, and everybody grows and comes out feeling better. If you spend time loving that idea and feeling that idea, you can accelerate that growth and transformation.
Absolutely,
Thank you so much for sharing.
no problem.
I'm also kind of curious, what are like your hot topics you love to debate? Maybe we can talk about it in the social time afterwards. Mm.
Yeah. Yeah, if we can get into that later.
Cool. Does anyone else? Popcorn, you had something you wanted to say?
Yeah, I had another question. Um, um, I've noticed that I tend to tie like my self-worth or my ego to the people I love, and when I notice that the people I love the most in life, my best friends, and mostly my family, when they're busy with their worlds and they're not really communicative or they're just not trying to be communicative, I I feel like worth less. I feel like it's something with me, but I know it's not me because I talk to other family and I'm like, hey, have you heard from this person? They're like, no, I haven't talked to him in like 4 months. And I was like, oh, okay. Um, but I am just like so intertwined with feeling like family, excuse me, is so important. And one thing that one thing about family that frustrates me for my family at least, and I'm sure others have had the same experience, is you go to a family gathering and everyone has their smartphone out in front of them. And I just feel like that's time where you're supposed to bond with your loved ones and not stare at the little screen in your pocket. And that frustrates me a little, but um, I guess my long-winded question is, how can I detach myself from this feeling that if I'm not making my family happy or it doesn't feel like my family is talking to me as much as I expect that they might, that somehow is like a direct impact of whatever I might be doing in my life, even though I'm fully aware that usually it's not.
I hear three questions. One is about the detachment or creating the mental, emotional model that helps you be great with whatever's going on. Then I also heard about what if they don't reach out to you? And then I also heard about family gatherings. So I want to first respond to, you said, well, what if you don't hear from them for a month? I've been thinking about this recently. How often we wonder about people reaching out to us. And then there's also how much do we reach out to others? And I encourage you that if you think of someone and you're like, hey, I care about them, that's the moment to send them a message or call them or go and visit them. We don't have to wait for other people. And yeah, I hope that's helpful in some way. As for family gatherings, everyone on their phone, perhaps you could have a meme about how absurd it is to all be on your phone when you're together and just be ready to ping it to everyone when when you all sit down together. Um, or maybe you can remember what it was like before things were like that. Maybe you guys played certain kind of games or sang sort of things or had certain kinds of conversations, and just find ways you can to like spark people back into engaging in ways that are fun and loving. You may also want to share as heartfelt as you just shared with us. Guys, I'm here to be with you. I want us to love each other. I want to hear about you. Maybe just reminding them of that in a loving, non judgmental, inviting way might be enough for everyone to put down their phones and give you the love that you want. Now, back to the question of not being attached to the outcome. I mean, the ultimate answer is to rehearse that mindset. What is it to be loving and kind and completely okay with what is happening? Does that contradict with what I was saying? Like taking positive steps to make things better? I don't think it does. You can envisage things could be better and take steps towards them being better, and also being completely accepting and understanding of everybody is where they're at. Now, some people find that a very compelling answer. Oh yes, I train my mind to do exactly what I want. Some people may be like, wait, how does that even address the issue? So I'm then also going to address the issue a little more directly. I'm sure there are
Sure.
some people in your family who wonder why they haven't heard from you for some time. You don't write to everybody every day, and time grabs your attention in different places over different chapters. So you could also meditate on compassion for your family and kind of think about, oh yeah, they're doing this and they're doing that, and this is where their attention and their feelings will be. And as you build that deeper understanding for them, I think that
Mhm.
your expectation of them doing something different will lessen, and you'll be able to see them as they are and just care for them as they are.
Mm.
I'm just going to breathe for a minute and see if any other really pertinent answers come to mind. And I invite you to think about the 4 ideas I just said and everybody else, and see if there's any other further questions. Yeah, to add to the last thing I was just saying is whenever you see your self-worth being tied to an expectation, or ever you see yourself being upset by something, it can be helpful to label to your mind, oh, I'm expecting something to be there and I'm upset because the reality doesn't match what I think things should be. And by labeling that as, hey, this is my mental expectation, you're then able to be like, oh, actually, this is the reality, and my mental thing is what's causing suffering. All right, now how do I get into the reality and make the most of that? Which might be reaching out to them more. It might be contemplating more understanding and compassion. It might be whatever you come up with. But when you're really just in the reality of seeing as it is, you'll come up with what is best for you to respond in a way that feels great for you and makes the best of the situation.
Thank you, Neil.
You're welcome. And I hope you find a really awesome meme that makes them all laugh and start talking together.
Yeah, that's a very, very clever idea. I'm gonna write that down.
Um, so I had the idea about reaching out to people when you think of them, and then the other one about you creating that interactive, loving environment when the family meets. But then the third one, I was like, hey, practice the mind that you want. That's a pretty grand idea. So I want to make it a little more real, or even completely real. So if each day you imagined yourself that you are content and happy, and you see everybody through the eyes of just exactly as they are, and you choose what to do and what to feel in the way that will help you most, that will help the world most, that will help your family most. You get to practice. I'm creating the mindset that is whatever you choose your values to be. The best you, the best world, the best family. So I'm practicing the state of mind that is awesomely present with reality, awesomely able to see things just with perfect acceptance. And from that, I'm always able to choose, where do I want to put my attention? Where do I want to put my time? Where do I want to put my feelings? And that might sound like a grand idea, to be like completely enlightened and free to do whatever you want with your mind. But if you spend some time every day practicing that idea, thinking about it, imagining what you'd be like, role playing this enlightened you, your brain will start to wire you up as this enlightened version of you. So I encourage you to spend time imagining that and imagining what that feels like.
Thank you. Yeah, I really have taken a lot of inspiration from Creek, who some of you have met him, some of you haven't, but he's one of the teachers that comes here often, and just the way that he inflects and uses his voice when he speaks really inspired me to try to focus on how I interact with people in my day-to-day life, and I've noticed that just really paying attention to the way I speak to people and the words I use and having focus on that really just brings about these beautiful interactions that I didn't have before. So um, it's really
So
wonderful to
good.
just focus on learning that.
I think that's something that would be helpful for basically everybody, to see that if you just change the tone of voice in a conversation with someone, the way they feel is going to be different. And the way the conversation goes is going to transform. It can be so almost instantaneous how you can transform a situation. So I'm really glad that it's been helpful for you. Someone's just written on the live chat. That one nihilist has written, I feel like most people go through life sleepwalking, like we exist in a state where we believe we are our own thoughts, whether those thoughts are good or bad. I'm so glad you wrote that, because that is pretty much central to my approach to mindfulness. That yes, people are pushed around by their thoughts and feelings and their emotions and reactions, but you can wake up from it. You can learn to watch your mind and your feelings and step out of them, and then choose, what are you going to think and feel. And I've seen in my own life that was like waking up from sleepwalking. There's a whole nother level of living. And as I imagine a world where more and more people do that, I just see a kinder, funner, more easygoing, happier world. So, our nihilist friend, thank you so much for your contribution. Please keep contributing. It's great to have you here. And to everybody who's out there on the live stream, I'll be checking as often as I can. I have to push a button and read what's there, but I hope that you also feel like you're here with us. Man, still welcome. Thanks for joining. In our intention setting today, we instead of just being enlightenment for everybody, or like you being your best self, I ask people to think of some specific things, or even one specific thing that they want to grow or transform or improve upon today. And then we did a meditation where we watched our mind and we saw what it is to like direct our consciousness and calm the mind and get into that space of more freedom. And then we spent time on that positive intention. Emotional transformation, habit transformation. And we've had a little bit of discussion of what some people went through during that bit of the meditation. And now you're here. It's great to have you. Popcorn, is there anything else you'd like to ask or share? Or I'd also love to hear from the other people who are here for the meditation. Either something you want to share that felt great, or some interesting insight, or perhaps you have a question, some way you could have made it better, or some block you found, or some way you're like, how does that work? Or this thing didn't work. I'd love to hear whatever is going on for you right now. And that invitation also goes to all of you out there on the live stream, or if you're watching this recording later, if you write a comment, I will do my best to respond there in the comments and also in future classes. All right, so we should move on. Okay. Let's have a look. Where do we go next? What arises in me as I just let myself settle and ask where do we go with this class is, how do we really optimize this enlightenment? This waking up. How do you bring that into every day? How can you remind yourself to step into that awesome feeling, to let your mind settle, let the noise disappear and be your best self? How do you give yourself time every day to practice transforming how kind you are, or transforming your attitude to your family, or there's specific things that would really help to make your life more awesome. And if you practice them every day for a week, they'll transform. If you practice them 3 times a day for a month, you'll blow your mind how much you can transform it. So how do we bring this excitement for enlightenment into you? How do we get this drive that making your enlightened self, making wildly positive transformations, beautiful feelings, how do we get that fire burning that it's drives you and becomes a part of your every moment? That one nihilist has said, they think the greatest skill one can practice is to increase our mindfulness, is to simply remember to breathe. So yes, if on every breath you were present, that would be an epic change, to just have that presence on every breath throughout the day. Also, envisaging yourself as this enlightened, most powerful, awesome version of yourself. To be excited about the motivated version of yourself. To imagine what it would feel like if every one of your feelings was your chosen, most free, amazing self. And to let that feeling grow all the time, so that feeling just predominates. What's that word? Dominates. That feeling just fills your whole self. That feeling of bliss and freedom and ease and awesomeness. You've just made that feeling so strong because you practice it every day. That not only is that feeling there all the time, but it also guides how you think about other things and how you see things and how often you step out of old reactions and, hey, there's a part of me that could transform. yeah, I've transformed it. Like, how excited are you about creating new ways of being? The more powerfully or excitedly you envisage a transformation, the more awesomely it transforms. Like, if you see an issue and you're like, yeah, here's this issue, I wish it'd be better. Like, your brain's then like struggling with it. But if you're pumped up and you're excited and you see an issue and you're like, wow, this is what my enlightened self would be like there, hey, and you're just role playing being great, then you have this like epic power to reprogram that part of you. And the more we can stay in that empowered, positive state of mind, the more we get on a roll of being able to just make things better and better. Plus, we were talking about the way we talk to ourselves as being an art form. The more you've practiced talking to yourself and imagining and feeling in a way that's powerful, the better you are at just bringing this awesomeness into yourself all the time. And I hope me describing this pumped up, enlightened, awesome version of you is getting you to feel it. And so the more often you think about that, or rewatch this snippet of the recording, or have this kind of conversation with other people, the more we immerse our mind in the enlightened version of you, the more that just becomes who you are, how you think, how you talk, how you meditate, how you think about yourself, how you think about dealing with issues in life. And as that one nihilist said in the chat, remembering to breathe can be so helpful. I have seen people who practice mindfulness and they remember their breath throughout the day, and it kind of just mellows out their negative reactions to things. It doesn't fix them, and it doesn't make them feel great. It just kind of minimizes bad reactions. And then I've seen people who in each breath are thinking of enlightenment and empowerment and bliss, and it wildly improves themselves every moment. So I hope you can combine that idea of like stepping into mindfulness with every breath, or as often as you can, but make that mindfulness your empowered mind, your happy, easygoing, free mind, your consciousness that can just step into bliss in a few breaths, your consciousness that can double the bliss in a few more breaths. There's a chant in some Buddhist circles that can be translated as the gem of enlightenment, like this diamond of unscratchable, unbreakable awesomeness. That diamond is actually in the lotus, the beautiful, delicate flower. And so when I hear this, I think about in each moment, right now, you could be pumped up, empowered, or you could think of something terrible, or someone could say something to you, and you could respond in a way that makes you strong, or you could respond in a way that brings you down. Like every moment can be like delicate. But if you keep your focus on that solid, enlightened, empowered, awesome part of you, you can bring that enlightenment into every moment. And yes, the more you practice it, the more that will happen automatically. And if you're new to it, it might take work to get there more often, but it is possible in this moment to put your attention on feeling at ease and empowered and happy. And it is possible to do that again in the next moment. And it is possible to do that even more in the next moment. And if you just keep every breath or each moment into your empowered, free, awake self, you can have that throughout your day, throughout your feelings, throughout your thoughts and concepts. And I truly wish for each one of us, or for everyone in the world, to be moving through every moment of our day in the most empowered, most awake, most free state of consciousness as possible. So I'm just going to stop for a moment, and I want you to breathe and feel that, be that, imagine yourself as that. So Amaza just came up to me and reminded me I need to put some eye drops in. So we put the headset on her head while I put the eye drops on. And I have to do this right now because I had something done to my eyes. But I want you to think of that metaphor, like every day you brush your teeth to a few times to keep your mouth healthy and feeling good. Or now I need to every 2 hours put eye drops in to keep my vision clear. And think about your mental hygiene. How often to step back into this piece, to clean away any emotions or attitudes that aren't helpful, to just step back into that place of ease. I hope you could imagine that every breath is this cleaning, this ease, this freshness. And I'm back. That one nihilist has told us this moment is all we have. Thank you again for your wonderful contributions. And so, yeah, I do invite you to just keep remembering in each moment, hey, this is the moment I have. What do I want to feel in this moment? What's the attitude or feeling right now that will help me the most? Imagine how easy life would be if you were just always just, hey, right now, what am I going to focus on right now? Enlightenment is supposed to be easy. It's supposed to be light and free and beautiful. Every moment, just aware of the now and choosing, hey, how good do I want to feel now? What's the most playful, empowered, wise, wonderful thing I want to feel or say or do right now? right, I'd love to hear anybody's thoughts, questions, responses to this last part of the contemplations. Well, my hope is that you are just enjoying the ideas and the feelings for yourself. So I'm going to begin our closing meditation. And I just invite us all to get comfortable. Close your eyes. Notice your consciousness right now. Each breath that you take, even halfway through the breath, or a moment through the breath. Just noticing your consciousness in each moment. And as you practice each moment, bring more peace, more ease. You could know that you are practicing, that every moment you'll be aware, you'll be fully empowered to choose how you want to feel, to choose where you put your focus, your thought focus, your emotional focus, your idea focus. You're practicing this sense of ease and freedom in every moment. And as we step out of our old thoughts, you'll notice them instead of being in them. You'll be able to see them. And so you'll be able to transform them, to transform how you think about yourself or situations, how you feel about yourself or about situations. Every moment, your consciousness is like this bright, wonderful paintbrush, just filling yourself with awesomeness. Wherever your attention touches, bliss, ease, and awesomeness. And now we're going to practice being able to just dive into that quickly so that throughout the day you can just stop for a few breaths and boost your sense of ease, your sense of awareness, your sense of being completely out of old thoughts and feelings. So just imagine any moment during the day, you just decide, I'm going to step into my most free and awesome self. You take 3 beautiful breaths and step into that. Maybe you could imagine every hour you give yourself these 3 blissful, empowering breaths. Maybe you could imagine every 5 minutes you just step into that and level up the bliss and the ease. Stepping out of thoughts and attitudes in the moment can also lead to stepping out of them in general. All these ideas or heavy things or baggage you carried about yourself, just taking them out, putting them down, and just being free in each moment. What I choose to feel, what I choose to be, what I choose to think. And I don't have to be choosing all the time. I could just be guided by inspiration and fun and awesomeness. Just opening up to a sense of ease and lightness and joy and positivity. So I thank everyone for being here. And I just invite you to dedicate this time that you'll continue to bring the best feelings and insights and consciousness with you everywhere you go. Practice them, dive into them more often. And as we leave the temple, I invite you to imagine that you'll bring this awesomeness with you. There's an enlightened being within you. There's a freedom, there's a strength, there's a greatness. Let yourself imagine that enlightened version of you. Let yourself be free and at ease and wonderful.